Hi Spidey-Fans, it's your friendly neighbourhood Ultimate Spider-Man fan here, and welcome back to another video on me reading my epic Marvel Spider-Man PS4 related book, Hostile Takeover. And I just want to say, just before I get into this, I'll just send me an intro, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell, and then follow me on Twitter as well. Type in the @ all capitals without spaces, the Ultimate Spidey SPID. And yes, as you can see the screenshot, my original plan for the screenshots showing you what I think this thing could look like didn't work out, because like the game's quite different to the book. So I'm just going to just put up some screenshots that I've taken since I got the game. Don't know how many there are. I'm still taking them as I'm playing the DLC. So as soon as I run out of these, I don't know what I'll think of a new idea to put up so I can read the book, because the book's actually pretty long. But anyway, yeah, let's get right into this. So we're chapter 10. So let's get right into this. So chapter 10. She'd been there. She'd been there since just before sundown, binoculars around her neck, dressed to be ready for anything. Black exercise leggings and a long-sleeved spandex top. The leather Parker gloves exposed her fingers, allowing for precision, but protected her palms from rough or jagged surfaces. While preparing herself, Maya had been thinking about her dreams and then she bore the handprint on her face. Perhaps it could become a trademark, her trademark, like her hated foe's Spider-Man symbol. Black on his chest. She dismissed the idea, yet she couldn't let go of it altogether. She had a bag of raw cashews in case she needed a quick high protein snack, and 2 bottles of water because dehydration made her sleepy. She couldn't afford to let her guard down, not with the sky. The skyline loomed in the background as she trained her binoculars on the apartment window. The file Fisk had given her had been more than a little redacted. It contained Beckham's name, his nearest living relatives, where he'd gone to school, and the little else. Even his address had been existed. Unfortunately, Maya knew her way around the system. Fishing for more information was a good way to be found out, but locating an original version of a redacted document was fairly easy and likely to go unnoticed. The unexpurgated version hadn't told her much more, though. In the 2 hours she'd been camped out, she caught a couple of glimpses of him, but nothing of substance. Maybe what she was doing was absurd. Mr. Fisk had asked her to leave it alone, and so she ought to do it. As he asked. He had his flaws. She knew that, but she trusted him to act in her best interest. He might try to conceal things from her, but he could never do anything that might harm her. Still, why did he need someone else who could move like Spider-Man? Did he not trust her to do what needed to be done? Did he think he would be unwilling to do what he required her to do? Sometimes Mr. Fisk hurt people. She'd visited Nero in the hospital just that afternoon, and it had served as an unwelcome reminder of his temper, despite his own I can't read this word. I just don't know. I can't read what it says. Tensities. However, Mr. Fisk had never asked her to hurt anyone. Then why all this raining? Did he think she wasn't ready? Life wasn't black and white, it was grey, and she had faith, absolute faith, that if Mr. Fisk wanted someone to be hurt, they needed to be hurt, because she knew that she could be the right hand he needed her to be. All she had to do was show him how far she was willing to go to further his cause. Yes, his methods could be brutal, but this was a brutal world. Man knew that more than anyone, and Mr. Fisk was making the city better, more spacious, more livable for everyone, not just the rich and the privileged. It was a mission worth pursuing. It wasn't simply good. It was just a man was prepared to do what was needed for the cause. If hurting Spider-Man was part of the package, then that was just a bonus. Mr. Fisk often said that he thought Maya could do anything, that he never factored in her deafness when considering her potential. Yet here she was on the sidelines while some stranger was doing what ought to be her job, not only doing it but doing it in a way that somehow infuriated Mr. Fisk. Why would he allow that? She would find out what this man was up to, and she would know, and she would show Mr. Fisk that there was nothing he couldn't trust her to do for him. She would show him that whatever this Bingham person could do, she could do better. An hour later, Bingham climbed out his window wearing a Spider-Man suit. It was a good one too, thanks to her Oscorp military-grade binoculars. It was as if she was standing 2 feet in front of him. The suit looked real, like a second skin, the way the real web slinger's suit looked. The colours were right, but there were a few imperfections. The web lines were a little too close. So I've got Spidey-Fans now. I was the page was stuck onto my hand there, so I've taken a wee breather there for a second. Together, though she doubted anyone without her skills would know that Spider-Man himself probably couldn't tell the difference. So why hadn't Bingham wore this suit during the fight at the construction site? What was he up to? What was he up to now? She watched as he leapt off the fire escape, shot off a strand of some sort, and swung off into the night. Well, there's only one way to find out. She set the binoculars down, broke into a run, and leapt to a Jackson roof. It wasn't easy keeping up with him. Bingham moved faster than she could, though if she had access to web shooters, they'd have been more even grown. They'd have been on more even ground. She tried not to think about that. Mr. Fisk had access to web shooting technology, and he'd given it to Bingham, not to her. This isn't the time for that, she thought. Her focus had to be on following Bingham. Besides, it was better when her doubts shut down and she could live in the burn of her muscles. This was going to take everything she had. New York did not provide a continuous supply of level roofs, which meant tailing a guy who could swing from building to building presented challenges. Maya leapt from the top of a building to a fire escape, scrambled up to another roof, dashed across the top, and hurled herself to grab onto a drainage pipe, barely taking the time to hope it was properly affixed. She bounded over air conditioning units and crumbled brick walls. She clambered up a wall using a windowsill. Windowsills and missing bricks as handholds. Fortunately, he didn't go far. There was a side street with an Italian wine bar that offered outdoor seating. Bingham clung to a wall, something else she couldn't do, and watched. As Maya crouched in the shadows, nothing much happened until a panhandler came by asking the upscale wine bar patrons for a handout. Bingham leapt into action. He swung down and pointed his web shooters at the panhandler with a thwap. The man was hurled across the street and webbed against the side of a building. Patrons screamed in horror and surprise. One indignant woman began to shout at Bingham to stop assaulting the poor man. He didn't pause though. Without a word, he jumped upward, webbing his way into the night. Instantly, Maya was on her feet, intent on keeping up. She had to see what was. She had to see what came next. Yet that was it. Bingham went back to his apartment, entering the way he'd gone out through the fire escape window. What's his game? Oh wait, did I just? Ah crap! Done that again. Done that. The same day I got. Damn. Oopsies. Don't mean it to be inappropriate here, Spidey-Fans, but in case you wonder what I was talking about, that wasn't part of the story there of what I was saying. I accidentally just spat in the page by mistake. I've done that the first time I got to it. What could he hope to accomplish? Bullying some homeless guy wasn't exactly going to bring Spider-Man to his knees. a handful of people might decide that he wasn't the hero they thought he was. The story might make the newspapers, though. That was less likely now that J. Jonah Jameson wasn't at the bugle. He'd been the one journalist willing to call Spider-Man out. So if it hadn't been about dealing a blow to Spider-Man's reputation, what had been the point? Was it the panhandler himself? Unlikely. If those webs were like the real thing, they'd dissolve soon enough. Otherwise, the cops would cut him down. Whatever this was, a trail run, an equipment test, it couldn't be an end game. And that meant the real plot was yet to come. Maya had two options: stealth or direct approach. She'd already collected a lot of information. Wait, where was I going? Sorry, I lost my place there. She already collected a lot of information. More than likely, she had to go home to do a little more digging around. Perhaps even confront Mr. Fisk with what she'd learned. He might be impressed with her intensity, her ability to keep up with the man who could process super abilities and technology, or both. Yet the best thing to do would be to call it a night. Forget that. If she opted for stealth, she could try sneaking into Benham's apartment. That didn't seem viable, though a pizza delivery guy had arrived shortly after he returned, and that suggested a night out. Besides, while Maya didn't like to limit herself, and she believed she could do anything a person with hearing could do, she wasn't unrealistic. No, breaking into a man's apartment while he was home would be foolish. That left the direct approach. I just want to do this video with fun Spidey fans. A pizza delivery guy. Pizza time! Spider-Man 2 reference. Well, not from the book, from me. And that left the direct approach. Okay, right, chapter 11, Spidey fans. So that's going to be it for this video. So, I know that this video was, I know my original plan was to, show you screenshots of what I thought the scene could look like, but I couldn't. So, I hope you like this new way that, I've actually got, because I'm going to bring some more screenshots up. But anyway, other than that, that's going to be it for this video, so thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And, I will see all you Spidey fans and all of my next epic Spidey videos. It's your friendly neighbourhood Spider Cop. Over and out. Thwap, thwap, thwap.